Don't look under the internet.
I've never been more ready.
Can you pull him up on the thing for me to see? I guess I can see him here. It doesn't matter. Ooh.
How does this so much more complicated?
Because I'm in the mix.
It's really I get here and Mike's like, I'm so excited I don't have to do anything tonight.
And I
now
make
we
it.
spent like the last 20 minutes trying to figure out how to just turn a camera on.
Yeah.
You know what I have to say to that? Hello, everybody.
What?
Welcome to Don't Look Under the Internet.
Oh, hello. Are we here?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We are here.
Oh,
Turning to Wario, like before my eyes.
If you looked over on this side of the studio, you'll see yourself a fine young gentleman named Jason.
Well, hello there.
Benoit Blanc.
If you looked over there, you'll see another enriched citizen who goes by the name of Douglas.
howdy.
And if you look on into a different state, over in the Panhandle itself, you'll find a boy named Moot.
Bah, criminous night muscles.
And I myself, well, my name is Joseph Rocket Nipples.
Rocket nipples.
Wow. Joseph,
They're
why
And ever-
blasting off again.
And ever since I started working the mines back in 1902, back when OSHA came in and started regulating 30-minute lunch breaks, that's when I knew we were going downhill as a country.
Let's see you
This is
segue
Don't Look Under
this.
the Internet.
God.
A place where I want to narrate
You
like
know-
an old Western, like shitty movie like that, where I'll just be like, an old Samuel Withersnapper.
Looks like old Snowball. Done it again.
all I can think about is the episode of The Community where they're playing that VHS game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And they have no idea, like,
you
what the
will not
rules
be able to
are.
indoctrinate us into your racism. Oh no, chive turkeys. That is one of
I
the.
thought it was very Family Guy-esque.
That is one of my favorite episodes. It's so
Have you
funny.
seen any of the new Family Guys with the new Mayor West?
I have not.
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah. Old Mayor West gets replaced by Mayor West's cousin, who is like Wild. I think his name is Wild.
Wild
Like
West.
cowboy guy.
Yo,
And
I'm gonna
he's, like super obnoxiously like Wild Westy.
I love
I'm
it.
gonna blow your mind right now. I have a cousin. Just backstory, like the shortest backstory ever. My cousins are fucking straight hippies.
Mhm.
I have a cousin named Wild West.
Wow,
What?
wow,
Really?
Really?
Like, legitimately? Like, that's what their birth certificate says?
Yes.
It's a given Christian name?
They also have like 45 middle names because, like I said, they are like a hippie. It's Wild West, Indigo, Merlin, Seahorse. It's like, it goes on. Like, I'm not even kidding.
I heard Indigo, Merlin, and Seahorse in there. And
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, you know
Okay.
what?
That'll be a story for another time.
Okay.
You know a story for now is Diluti.
Clap.
House
Above the head.
Mac, you're fucking
We have
dick.
we have what I think is two patrons. I want to say.
Do you want to say
It's
that?
hard to say if we have two or not. And here's why. So we have the one right off the rip, but today I got an email that was like, hey, you got a new patron. And then I looked on Patreon and it's like, no, you ain't.
Were you on the app?
I was on the app
Here,
and it said no, but the
dipshit.
email said yes. No, this isn't it. So we have the one patron on here, Ryan McGee, who please be Ryan McGee from Super Mega. That'd be hilarious. But the other one was for Jace, but he's
Yeah, I
not
saw
on
that.
the
I saw-
app.
I saw that,
We
yeah.
got an email, but you're not on the app, Jace. So if you're giving us money, that's super cool.
Could have been a while ago. Who knows?
But you might want to look into your app if you're giving us money because you are not reflecting on our end, which means you may not be able to participate in certain things, and we want to make sure you can.
Yeah.
So
Patreon as a
knows?
whole, the app and the website just kind of suck. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
But also, you
It's
might not
great.
exist. You might not just be a random name that Patreon pushed to us.
it's still moot
Maybe it's Jace the Mindbender.
In
It's
his
just
driveway.
Moot. Another account
Matt,
by
we
Moot.
told you. Stop.
Fucking stop, man.
It's Moot in his driveway still. That's why I know this is working. Reality's crumbling because you're
maybe
waking
that's
up.
the issue. The me I left behind is like frantically trying to figure out what I have to do to like get the car out of the driveway. This is one of the options. This is what I've arrived at.
Where's
now,
the fourth
is I
spark
have to
plug?
Resubscribe to the Patreon.
It's
The
over
worst
there.
part, though, is that he knows he's in the driveway and he's stuck in this universe where he's telling us, yo, I'm stuck in the driveway and we can't do we're not doing anything
He's not,
about it.
because my car's in the driveway, so
I can't communicate with the me that's in the driveway. I am just connected to him and feel his pain.
there's a whole lot going on over here.
You know what has a whole lot going on in it, boys?
What?
The topic that we have today.
What is that, Mike? What is it? What are we talking about today?
We're talking about the inevitable cancellation of Big Bird from Sesame Street.
It is adjacent to that, yeah.
Now, normally I'd say no, the fuck we're not, but in this case, do we want to entertain that?
I don't even know what we're talking about, so that's fun.
He literally just said it 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, I was not paying any type of fucking attention.
Okay, cool.
We're doing a Cthulhu Corner today,
Hell
kids.
yes.
And in good old Diluti fashion, Moot and I have no fucking clue what's going on, and I like it like that because I don't have to do anything this week.
They just
Ooh,
show up.
We just show up.
Hell yeah. Actually today we have a little bit of a triple whammy for all y'all. Yeah.
It is.
And this, honestly, you're going to see more of these like double and triplicates simply because in true Lovecraftian fashion, most of these entities are shrouded in mystery.
They're unspeakable.
They are unspeakable. You can't talk about them.
You can't even write about
Undescribable
'em.
horror.
No.
You can only say that so many times until I lose interest. Describe the horror.
Okay. I mean,
There's a
Show me
wire
tentacle.
Bothering bringing it up there.
now what we want you to do is envision nothingness in your mind.
I showed you tentacle. Please respond.
This is probably the least tentacle-y episode we'll ever do, actually.
Yeah, this is probably actually there's almost no tentacles involved in this one.
Yeah,
I know you guys are sad to hear that, but we do have to go over them because these I want to say 3, let's say 2 of these 3 are largely influential on the mythos. The other one has like 4 sentences about him total. So
but I'll at least explain why he's pertinent. So
yeah, absolutely.
her, actually, but either way, we'll get there.
There's yes, in true Cthulhu fashion, you can't really pin down adjectives or descriptors to these. So
What does their Twitter bio say?
Their Slack profile.
Pronouns in bio.
They didn't fill out their pronouns yet. So
That is that
still
and
waiting.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna go on the teensiest of rant here.
Go for it.
The argument of like the like talk thing of there's pronouns in bio and you blue hair girl thing is probably the laziest like
I don't know what
the laziest thing
I
you could
have
say
no
to
idea
someone.
What the hell Mike is on about?
People at home will know what I'm saying. Like it's just like come up with a better
Well, you have
like
3 of us here, and we
It's
don't.
a rant for the audience.
on Twitter, if a lot of the conservative crowd, if they see that you have like your pronouns in your bio, they're immediately like, "Oh, this person's stupid. They don't know what they're talking about," and their immediate go-to like counterpoint to like because they can't defend anything else they're saying is just saying, "Oh, you get pronouns in your bio." You're fucked. You're fucked. You're not funny.
My favorite
You ain't
part.
funny.
My favorite part
You
about those
suck.
people is that most of them, I'm almost 100% positive, could not define the word pronoun.
They can't. There's this one lady that's
all.
There's
like,
no pronouns in the Bible.
yeah. There's this.
Literally says I am he at one point.
There's
Like,
There's this one lady on Twitter that's like, Jesus doesn't use pronouns. It's like he comes into play a lot.
he literally just says
Yeah.
I am
a
he.
lot.
Like, what the fuck are you talking? Anyway,
I am here.
All right, now that we've alienated like 25% of the audience.
You know, that's a 25% that we didn't need.
Sometimes we like to talk.
we do.
Is it necessary?
No, fucking never.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. But no, today we are covering another, not edition, another installment of
Just
the
give me a
Cthulhu Corner.
name.
All right, we're covering the deities Yidhra, Yidhra, and Ayi'iig.
I'm sure that's the closest we'll get to saying it
You
right, but
made-
it's Ayi'iig.
You're making the
Maybe-
same. You're making the same sound that Squidward did in SpongeBob when he had the fork stuck in his throat.
Maybe that's where this came from, Mike.
He's like, he's making the glizzy noises. I'm pretty
Glizzy
sure,
noises.
pretty
Yes.
sure that's what that last name was.
So okay, let's start this off. We are talking about 3 deities. The names are Ayi'iig, Yidhra, and as I said before, I think it's pronounced Ayi'iig.
It's AYI
Apostrophe
IG.
IG.
So like Ayi'iig. Ayi'iig.
Something like that.
I don't know.
What does the phonetic spelling that they put in parentheses on Wikipedia look like?
Didn't have it. I would have put that down if they had that.
Yeah,
They did
no.
not.
I'm
have
gonna
that.
need this.
This is one of the few that has no pronunciation.
I went so far as to try to find the book that Ayi'iig is in
The
on
only one.
audio.
the only one. Just to hear it pronounced.
Just to hear it, and
Yeah.
there's like nowhere. You can't listen to it. You can't even buy it anywhere. Like I have no idea if this book actually exists, but we'll get into that.
Based off the name of that creature, I feel like I'm gonna need this. What are you drinking? What are you thinking? There's a bottle here and it's empty. Yeah. We got some
today-
hooch today.
I have purchased
Yeah.
a bottle of Balcones Texas Pot Still Bourbon. There's corn on it.
It's cone.
And I'm
It's
drinking
cold.
it out of a rattlesnake
beautiful
mug
thing.
He is.
that Doug got me.
I'm drinking it out of this little fucking pot that is actually like,
Like
3 shots.
Jason's also drinking
Aviation,
Aviation
gin.
Gin. Fly away with your dreams.
Together.
The
I think
choice
my-
of pilots.
The choice of pilots.
I feel like we would do well if we could just have a bunch of products in front of us and we just come up with taglines for them. Doug, can you pass that
There's something
delicious
here
whiskey over
with
here?
this.
Crash Bandicoot. He holds your shit.
There's something here with the Aviation Gin and a kamikaze pilot. I just haven't connected together. Like before you die, go out with a bang. Aviation Gin.
feel good while you're doing it.
Yeah, it's
If you want to pay us to make your brand a wildly offensive commercial,
You're welcome.
let
I'll
us
do
know
it.
at
if you're
theloopypod@gmail.com.
If you're gonna die, make sure you don't remember it.
There you go.
Aviation gin. Doug, can I have some of that?
Absolutely,
thank you.
you can.
I'm drinking a solitary PBR that was left over from a 6-pack. I did.
Left on the radiator overnight.
I'm white trash, and I'm in trouble.
No, Matt just works a punk bar at nights, and he came home, and that's all they left him.
He found it in his shoe. Actually, he was like, "Oh shit, PBR."
It's PBR. Weird. It's just fermenting in my shoe. Well, in classic Diluti fashion, when you hear the clink, take your drink.
Oh, I probably
You
should
should have done that before you gave that to me there.
I got really into just making stupid taglines. Apparently,
I can make snake jazz with this.
all right, here we are.
Cheers to snake jazz, I guess.
Absolutely, the
One
snake
letter
jazz.
away from
Snake
perfection.
Clink.
What?
Snake Jazz, the music of kamikaze pilots. If you're gonna die,
Listen to snake jazz and drink
nothing.
aviation gin.
Snake jazz. It's
What
almost
did you
jizz.
say? It's one letter away from being perfect?
Perfection.
What does that mean?
Snake jazz.
I just said it, and you missed it. I said snake jazz. It's almost jizz.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, continue with your yig.
Mike gets the joke. We can go on
Your
now.
yig coleslogith.
Speaking
Yig
of
and coleslaw.
snake jizz,
Yeah, seriously. Speaking of snake jizz,
perfect segue
perfect
into this.
fucking bird scooter right here falling into my lap.
Who is Yig?
Yig is the father of serpents.
Oh, and I'm drinking. Did you do that on purpose?
I sure didn't.
It was a
neat.
happy accident.
That would have been fun.
It would have, but I didn't. I'm not that smart.
So Yig is the father of serpents. He is a semi-anthropomorphic great old one who is worshipped as a god in Central America and the southern states of the U.S. Now, again, great old one. That means Yig and Cthulhu are on the same level. Weird.
Their power levels are
They're
very
po-
similar.
They're not over
Is it-
9,000, but they're close.
Is it a thing with Cthulhu? I know Cthulhu can, but like the other entities too that are on like the same level, can they like shrink and grow at will?
That's all specific.
It's very specific.
Pretty much powers that belong to certain entities in the Cthulhu mythos are all very specific to that entity. And you'll notice that each of them has like a genre, I guess. So like Yog
You'll
Sothoth.
actually.
Well, I just asked because if Yig and Cthulhu are on the same level of power, but Cthulhu is like 500 feet bigger, couldn't he?
He could, but
killing it.
You also don't know anything about Yig.
That's
Yeah.
true. He could bite his foot, and then now he's got snake venom coursing through him.
So when we
If he's
get
venomous, yeah.
when we get a little further into this episode, one of the people we're going to talk about actually has probably one of my favorite
Yep.
powers that we'll talk about. So
Go ahead, boys.
please shut your fucking mouth. Actually,
Kindly shut the fuck up. So Yig, the father of serpents. He's so when I say he's semi-anthropomorphic, that means like he has arms and legs, but he has like snake head. Like it's like a 6-foot snake
imagine
body coming out.
Trogdor.
Or Orochimaru from fucking
I would prefer the Orochimaru.
That's better.
sounds
better, but
dope
I
as
like
fuck.
Trogdor more.
Well, he's not like half snake, half man. He's
No,
usually
he's
just snake
he's
or
a dragon man.
Well, that's
It's pretty
Kabuto.
close.
Kabuto goes dragon.
Oh,
He
I'm
gets
talking about
the dragon.
Trogdor. I was literally
Oh.
singing lyrics from the song.
Yeah.
Terminating all the people.
Yes.
And all the peasants.
Banating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, he's got like a snake head and like a human body. He's pretty large though. And again, he's a great old one. And we don't really see a lot of great old ones get worshipped in Central America as well as the US. Most of these great old ones come from stories of lore that tie into like cultural traditions overseas. I mean, like Nyarlathotep is from the fucking heart of Africa. He's also got roots in Thailand,
Egypt.
like all of these, at least when I think of like ancient civilization, that's like, I think of those places, not so much the US of A.
Yeah, you're not like, it's Texas.
Texas, yeah.
He's from Tucson, Arizona.
So he's this is actually one of the very few Cthulhu mythos deities that are actually like they actually give a shit about their children. Most of them, like once they're out of like sight, they're like, I don't fuck you, I don't care about you anymore.
Terminates.
I might kill you later.
I literally might eat you if you come near me again.
Yeah, and hold on to that fucking trope because that's coming up later.
So speaking of family and lineage, this is where things get kind of weird. So Yig has a daughter. As far as we are concerned, it's a daughter, and that's Ayi'iig. However you pronounce it, I'm just gonna say what comes out of my throat the
That's-
best.
Honestly, I think that's what was intended.
So now Yig's mates, there are two specific ones, and one is Yidhra, which we're gonna actually cover tonight, and the other is Cthulhu.
Oh yeah.
Now, not much is known about Cthulhu, the former like mate of the snake god, but an enormous creature she is said to be. She's supposed to be like humanoid, and
Similar
very,
to Yig.
Yeah, very similar to Yig, but like very reptilian in nature. Not so much like it's snake and reptile. I don't really know how to explain that any better. But
Yeah.
her head
It's like a wiggly alligator.
is two snakes that are constantly looking at each other. That's really all we know.
That seems like it'd be difficult to navigate.
I guess one snake eye and one snake eye, or forward vision. I don't really know, but it's really weird. But then,
So 2 one-eyed snakes. Got it.
yeah,
Yes.
I mean they have 2 eyes, but they're only using one to make one full set of eyes.
Seems like a waste.
They have back vision.
They're a capitalist great old
They
one.
have
Of course.
360 vision apparently.
Oh, they're like a pigeon.
Yes.
Sure.
If you were to compare the great old one known as Yig to a pigeon,
Yeah.
that's on you, my guy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. And then the last bit of family that Yig technically has is his affiliation with what they call the progeny of Yig. In short, it is just pretty much every fucking snake
All of them.
that ever will or has been is a part of Yig's family. Now, these progeny of Yig, though, they're a little different. They're a little special. They have fucking people faces on a snake body. And they're terrible looking. They look absolutely terrible.
Like this is
It's like-
it's the type of unsettling that just like it's not creepy. It's just like this is bad. Like this shouldn't exist simply because it's bad.
So I
It
actually
sounds
haven't.
like something that's in like a comedy horror movie that pops
Yeah.
up on the screen. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh fuck! What the fuck is that?
Like it's
You
from
remember-
like Slither
that's
or
why
whatever.
there's no
Slip-
movies of Yig.
Yeah.
Or fucking Freddy versus Jason when Freddy turned
yeah.
into
Oh my
the
god,
bong
the caterpillar! Yeah, dude.
That's what
That's
I
not
picture.
great. That's so. I actually have a small excerpt from the book that Yig is from called "The Curse of Yig," and it says, "The moving object was almost of human size and entirely devoid of clothing. It was absolutely hairless, and its tawny-looking back seemed subtly squamous in the dim."
That's not a
Foolish
real
life.
word.
It's pronounced squamous, but it is a word.
Squamous. Around the shoulders, it was rather speckled and brownish, and the head was very curiously flat. As it looked up to hiss at me, I saw that the beady little black eyes were damnably anthropoid. But I could not bear to study them long. Yig's chief trait was a relentless devotion to his children. A devotion so great that the Redskins almost feared to protect themselves from the venomous rattlesnakes which thronged the region. Frightful, clandestine
They're called
tales.
The commanders now.
They're just
I
called the
get that
Washington
reference.
State. Yeah, there's nothing. That's really all it is. It's just a guy talking about how
One of the
scared they were to
few-
even hurt a snake or be near a snake for fear of Yig.
One of the few sports references I understand.
Proud of you, Mike.
Thank you.
We're all
Thank
proud
you.
of Mike today.
So yeah,
that's all we have for
that's,
the lineage?
that's really all we
Go.
got on Yig. So one of the biggest things is like you have these like super fearsome, great old ones that you'll see in like video games and board games, but their actual written background is so minuscule.
So, okay, do you want me to go over that a little bit?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like what Yig's goal is,
Sure.
as well as maybe
it-
where he came from.
Before you do that, you said that like every snake on Earth is a part of him. So is
Supposedly.
that kind
It's his
of like
child.
is it basically saying that like snakes are aliens? They're not of this planet then?
So that's a great question, actually. So
This is
one
a-
thing that you could actually determine from the Cthulhu mythos as a whole is that it explains the reasons for things being on Earth, or like it almost is like instead of the theory of evolution, you could attribute it to well,
Bunch
this
of
thing's
aliens
a
just
snake
dropped shit
alien,
off and left.
now they're snakes, and
It's
then we have
history.
yeah. So you
More or
could,
less.
you could, I guess, call the Big Bang the Yacubian cube coming to Earth
And even
or something
then, there's
like
like
that. Like
2 million years of history about the Yacubian cube before the Big Bang.
yeah,
which is
so-
A
insane.
lot like Scientology, which was also written by.
Huh.
Weird. It's
Matt, are you
almost
suggesting that religions plagiarize from each other? That can't be it. They're all very individual and unique, and they all have specific.
not.
Yeah.
Once
exactly.
you get Dianetics involved, it's game over.
Dianetics Jr. much better than Krishna. Nope. Nope.
So if that's
Tenacious
your
D.
I haven't seen Tenacious D in a long, long,
pick
long,
of
long time.
destiny. Are you all good with
Anyways.
the lineage over there, bud?
Yeah, no, that's it. That's it. That's all
Okay.
I got.
How about we dump into the origin as well as some goals? of
You
Yig?
betcha.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, we're done. So the origin of like the myth of Yig, it came about. I mean, obviously Yig's been around for much, much longer than 1920. Actually, I think we covered this on our timeline episode, the Cthulhu Mythos timeline, where Yig and Tissathagua
Don't
and
like you know the name off the top of your.
Or was it-
so
I think it was
Yig and-
Yabba
Yig and
Dabba
Sa- Yig and
That's the thing is, you can just make something up and Mike and I'll be like,
Sure.
We should just do that once.
Oh,
we
that's-
should make up our own thing.
I feel like you think that that hasn't already happened. So Yig and Sethagua, which we mentioned briefly in our Cthulhu Mythos timeline episode, I just want to remind you that those two are big players in the Cthulhu Mythos, and those two fucking hate each other. They fucking hate each other. They are more rivals than Azathoth is with the sleeping.
Why do they hate each other? Does it ever say? Like, did one of them
It's-
just cheat on a math
it's
test
typically
or
a-
something? I don't cheat at a ball game or
that's
something.
it. You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's-
nailed it.
We could go over that, but I don't think that
It's all power struggles. Everything is power
Everything is
struggles.
power
like a
struggles.
territory
Yeah.
thing.
People want to control Earth. People want to control the oceans.
Earth
there's a lot of
especially,
different things. Yeah. For some reason, Earth just so
What's so
great.
special about Earth?
It's that goddamn cube, man. It's that fucking
It's the cube.
yeah. It's the Cubian cube that landed here before the dawn of time. Apparently,
Oh, I thought it was.
We may need to do an episode on that just to
re-clarify.
get that out of the way. Yeah.
thought it was because the great taste of Charleston chew. You can't get that anywhere.
The Charleston.
You can't get that anywhere else in the galaxy.
But no, let's go into the origin of Ayi'iig. So, in the early 1920s, an American Indian ethnologist conducted extensive research into snake lore from Guatemala to Oklahoma. He described Ayi'iig as like a dark, like a less benevolent prototype.
Is this like a real thing, or is
Yeah.
this according to like a Lovecraft story?
So the sentence I was trying to say.
Implying this isn't real.
You're telling me this is science fiction?
The sentence I've been trying to say says that essentially Ayi'iig is like the prototype version of Quetzalcoatl. Do you
Yeah.
guys know who Quetzalcoatl is?
I know it's a snake.
Yes,
god.
I've watched Aliens.
Yeah.
Or not aliens, but
Ancient
ancient,
Aliens,
aliens.
yeah.
Thank you.
Matt, do you know who
Nailed
Quetzalcoatl
it.
is?
No.
Okay.
No idea.
So Quetzalcoatl is a Native American mythological creature. It's the Thunderbird. So like in Native American traditions and culture, if you hear the word Thunderbird, that refers to Quetzalcoatl, which is like this mythical giant flying lightning bird.
It's also
Birds
a
hate
dinosaur.
snakes.
It is a dinosaur, yes. And so Ayi'iig is essentially the prototype version of this. So like the Native Americans essentially worship Ayi'iig, they just don't know it. They call it Quetzalcoatl.
But he's a snake man, not a bird person.
Well,
He had so there's a lot of different depictions of him. So
Yes.
the most notable one is the actual fossilized dinosaur that we know today as Quetzalcoatl.
Yep.
But if you look at a lot of the like ancient Mayan ruins and stuff like that, you'll actually see like what looks like a sky dragon.
And you'll see this actually on the Mayan calendar as well.
Correct.
Cool.
Mostly towards the end of that calendar. But yeah.
You know,
Ayi'iig has a
That
has,
last year.
Yeah.
John Cusack,
2012.
he survived. It was fine.
perfect. So this American Indian ethnologist, he described Ayi'iig as like the dark prototype for Quetzalcoatl, like I was saying. By the time his investigation was over, he basically found that the people of Oklahoma were too afraid to like talk about this too much, especially during like I think it was autumn. I can't remember.
Did you say Oklahoma?
Oklahoma? I did.
Oklahoma sucks.
You know, it's funny
So
that
to give you an idea,
it's
Go
it's
ahead,
funny
sorry.
that this is happening in Oklahoma. Because when I
Why?
made the Arizona joke before, I was gonna say Tacoma, Oklahoma instead. But that would have just been. Is it Tacoma in Oklahoma?
No, Tacoma isn't that in Washington? Yeah.
What's the capital of Oklahoma?
I couldn't tell you.
I
Is
forgot
it
that Oklahoma was
City?
a state.
Is it Oklahoma City? No, I thought that was in like Wyoming or some shit.
No, Oklahoma City is
The
in
capital?
Oklahoma.
No, the capital of Oklahoma is Tennessee. We all know this. God.
All right.
Don't give me that
Oklahoma-
shit like
That's where Jack
fucking.
Daniels comes from.
It's like
Tennessee.
Mr.
See, Moot
Oklahoma.
understands.
I hate you people.
Yeah.
God
I will
damn
say,
it.
I don't actually hate Oklahoma. I just didn't care to have to drive through the whole damn state.
That's
Because it's
fair.
just a windy,
Frying pan.
it is a windy frying pan. Nailed it.
So again, we're talking about this deity that essentially influenced the entire Native American mythology of Quetzalcoatl. It's also one of the other names it's being referred to is Ku-uk-uk-lan. I think that's how it's pronounced, judging by the fucking apostrophes.
Hang on a second.
Ku-uk-uk-lan.
That sounds.
Here, you try it, Mike.
Ah!
Oh no.
Oh no.
That don't sound right.
Time
Hang
for
on.
Mike to nut up or shut up.
Oh, okay. So
it's
is that
very
not just-
throaty.
is that not just
Ku-uk-uk-lan.
Very throaty.
okay?
It's not what you're trying to make a joke about.
No,
Okay.
it's like. Never mind. I swear to God, I've seen that somewhere else.
In a dream.
Maybe, but I don't
Fever
know
dream.
where. Maybe. I don't know.
Doug. So this is his other name, Ku-uk-uk-lan, which is another name for a Mesopotamian or a Mesoamerican serpent deity that was worshipped by the Yucatec Maya people and the Yucatan Peninsula
That's where it was.
before the
Because
Spanish
aliens.
We're looking
conquest
up a
of
bunch
the
of
Yucatan.
cryptids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes
That's where I
sense.
saw from. Is when
Absolutely
we were
makes
looking up a
sense.
bunch of them.
So by the time of this investigation, the ethnologist found that the people of Oklahoma were often too afraid to discuss this legend. Though this had not been always the case, before the land rush of 1889, the Plains tribes were more open than the Pueblo or desert nomads about their worship of Yig. The influx of white immigrants, however, led to a series of unnatural tragedies. Belief was more common in the West than it was in the transplanted southeastern tribes. So, this was a very, very, widespread,
Move over, Jesus. Yig's on his way.
to the Native American people, Yig was close. Every year. So,
What do they have to leave out on Christmas for Yig?
no, they had to fucking hit their drums for 3 months a year to make sure that Yig didn't come and kill all of them. Is just what it was.
I'm
Sounds
sorry
more
if
fun.
I'm sorry if you guys already said it and I just didn't hear. But Cthulhu, kind of if we're looking at him like aliens that came to Earth, he kind of went to the ocean or whatever. Where did Yig land? Was it Oklahoma?
Antarctica. Sorry, Hyperborea,
Hyperborea.
which is parts of Antarctica, parts of northern Canada.
And then just kind of made his way to this Oklahoma area through his followers. Not him personally, but his message, I guess.
If you remember from our Cthulhu Mythos timeline, there was a war that happened on Hyperborea between Yig, Cthulhu, who got very quickly put to sleep, as well as Sethagua.
And
we did mention.
I think it was also the Great Race of Yith as well.
Yes, and Yith was a part of it, not for long though.
No.
Mainly it was between Yig and Sethagua. After all was said and done, Sethagua basically claimed the entirety of Hyperborea, which forced Yig out, which I'm assuming drove him to these
to the
southern
Americas.
parts of to America.
To the gold pan.
You'll see. We're gonna span a bit of. We're gonna span quite a bit of the Earth in this episode.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Shit, where was I?
I don't know.
Oh, right. Okay. I was talking about how that the belief in Yig and how the worship of Yig had evolved over the years, especially after 1889. The Plains tribes were more open. That's right.
I should do a masterclass on how to just derail everything.
You're getting close,
So
man.
good at
I think you're just learning on the fly. So the influx of specifically white immigrants to, I guess what you could say as the Native American tribes of the West and Central America, it led to a series of unnatural tragedies simply because these immigrants didn't fucking know what they were getting into. They had no idea that a snake god existed. They had no idea that all the snakes of this land might belong to that god, et cetera, et cetera.
Fucking idiots. Should have seen that coming.
Stupid piece of shit, right?
Stupid fucking dickhead.
No real thing of this world has rattles in its tail.
They didn't come like that.
You fool.
They got a rattly ass.
So unlike most of the other great old ones, such as Cthulhu, Yig was actually rarely malicious. So Yig is more of a, I want to just fuck off. I want to be by myself. Don't fuck with me and I won't fuck with you.
He's a fuck around and find out
He's
kind
a
of guy.
Euclid on the SCP scale.
okay.
That's perfect way to put it. Yeah.
If you could put a containment procedure to great old ones, Yig would be Euclid for sure.
It would basically be like, don't interact with him.
Let him be.
Because
and
he
will
ain't doing anything other than just snaking his way around.
I'm a silly little snake.
Maybe that was him in that YouTube video.
Maybe. I wouldn't fucking doubt it. He loves snakes. So yeah, he's not very often malicious. Although every autumn, like I was saying, this is where the drums comes in.
Every
and
28 years.
Every autumn,
23
he gets a
years.
little malicious.
So that's his feeding frenzy is an autumn, which unfortunately Yig is people. So sorry about that, but
Thousands of Americans go missing every autumn.
so this is
Why.
if you have mesothelioma,
Mesoyiglioma.
There it is.
That was bad.
So there. Thank you, Mike.
Working on the fly here, my
Wrap on
guy.
jokes.
Oh fuck. So again, autumn feeding frenzy for Yig, and this would basically that would influence the local tribes of the land, which in this case are the Pawnee tribe, the Wichita tribe, and the Caddo of Oklahoma, and they would drum constantly from August through October to drive them away. In addition to this, the Wichita would also make offerings
Really
of
annoying for their
corn.
neighbors.
What?
But that sounds really annoying for their neighbors.
Yeah, but it keeps property value down to a reasonable price, though. So
They just don't stop drumming,
Literally
man.
just 3 months of solid straight drumming. Fuck that, no. So yeah, and so Doug brought this up earlier. In the Curse of Yig, which is the first time we hear about Yig, we hear that the Wichita would also make offerings of corn to appease the snake god Yig.
Cool.
But yeah, no, that's all we really have for like his origin story, which honestly is way more than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's like I said, these are kind of, a lot of these deities are kind of just short-lived. They make like 1 or 2 appearances in a book, and maybe not even like for more than like a page or 5.
Yeah.
But as far as pop culture goes, like with Yig, you can find him in The Curse of Yig by H.P. Lovecraft. He's actually in the Pathfinder bestiary.
Yup.
If you play D&D or you play Pathfinder, you can find a move set for him. There's tons of Cthulhu games. So like you'll find Yig in Love Letter, the pandemic version of the Cthulhu
Reign of
pandemic.
Cthulhu.
Yeah, Reign of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Mansions of Madness.
Yep.
that was a fun
and
one when we played it.
Hopefully, he'll be coming to Cthulhu Death May Die soon. So
What's that like? It wasn't D&D, but we ran a campaign where we went to, where is it, Puerto Rico? Peru.
Call of Cthulhu.
Call of Cthulhu.
That was called Cthulhu. That was
Yeah.
fun.
I'm sure
still
he's in there as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that was really fun.
I'm actually shocked you guys didn't run into him in Peru.
I got
if I'm being
very
honest.
into that game because I'm like, we gotta shoot the thing. I'm like,
I still have
running around
exactly
the
where we
living
left
room.
off.
Yeah,
And I
it's
have the
good
You
whole
have to make a new
fucking-
character though, because I killed you.
You did, didn't you?
You both need to make
I
new
have,
characters.
I have a new character already. But
Cool.
so moving on from Yig, we're going to start talking about
Wowie
Yig's
George
mate.
Zowie.
Wowie
There it is.
George Zowie. So we're going to talk about Yidhra now.
Yes.
Now, the origin of Yidhra is actually kind of awesome. I love everything about Yidhra. Like,
Yidra's the
honestly,
fucking shit.
Yeah, she's just super cool. Like all around super.
Sounds like a nice
super
lady.
awesome lady. So she's an outer god, and she is worshipped as a beautiful, awesome, and terrible Earth Mother. Similar to Shub, who might be connected to the darkness. If you don't remember, the darkness in a nutshell is an endless voids of sentient blackness.
If you want a reference point and you know anything about Chthonian gods, the darkness is basically equivalent to Nyx.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
the darkness is imprisoning me. All that I see.
I was really
Absolute
hoping you were
horror.
I believe in a
I
thing
cannot
called
live.
love.
I cannot die.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Thank you. Anyways, so we'll cover the darkness at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because it's basically the sister to God,
Honestly, I would love
technically,
to-
but that's fine.
Didn't
would
they do
love
that
to-
in Supernatural?
They sure did.
Yep.
Oh.
I would love to combo the darkness with the color. I think that'd be good.
We're getting into some weird territory here. Anyways, so yeah, Yidhra, she came to Earth before life had even evolved on the planet. And as such, she is a primordial horror that's been among humanity since their very creation.
Horror?
Horror.
Oh, she's a primordial whore.
Primordial horror.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Words.
So, since she survived in this chaotic, changing environment,
hate
Yidhra
this.
manifested the ability to take on the characteristics of pretty much any creature that she devoured. So, that being said, real quick, let's go into the family lineage of Yidhra.
Okay. This one's real fucking quick. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Yidhra mates with Yig to create their child, Ayi'iig.
Ayi'iig.
Can we
And-
just call it
And
egg?
that's the whole fucking thing.
Perfect. Exactly.
That's
Short,
literally-
sweet, and to the
Yeah,
point.
Yig is Yidra's only mate.
I think the name egg suits perfectly.
Egg.
Just
Can I
egg.
offer you an egg
In
in
these
these
trying
trying
times.
times?
That's fine. So Yidhra, she's super awesome, and she actually has a bunch of different abilities and avatars that she goes by.
These are going to be so fucking reminiscent of Nyarlathotep. It's not even funny.
Yeah, because So
Which
basically,
one was Nyarlathotep again? I'm sorry. Remind
He
me.
had the
King in Yellow.
no.
No, that's
That's Haster.
Haster.
Haster's the king in yellow. Nyarlathotep is the
The mummy, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, the
Yes.
black pharaoh.
Yeah.
The god with 1,000 faces.
Gotcha. Okay. I remember.
Yeah.
now.
Also,
1,000 masks.
yeah.
Okay.
Avatars. Connections. Bird scooter.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Thank you. That's what I was waiting for. All right, so she has many avatar forms. Some include a woman named Yolanda and another named Madame Yi.
Yolanda be cool.
Yolanda
Yeah.
Prentice.
Yeah. And since her life cycle centers around absorbing other life forms and taking their evolutionary advantages, she also actually takes their memories when she does this. So she can basically absorb you and learn everything and know everything you've ever seen, heard, and learned throughout your life. So this cycle of rebirths makes her immortal, which is a pretty cool power to have.
Yep.
But besides that,
Unfortunately,
Does she keep her memories on top of the ones that she takes from you?
she absorbs it. So she just has all these different. She's just like the ultimate.
do you remember
being
the X-Files? Did you
I
watch
never
the
watched the X-Files.
fuck.
Yeah.
Well, I have nothing for you. Then.
I don't need an example.
good.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
What if you have like conflicting memories that you've absorbed from other people? Because like some people's memory isn't perfect, right? So like two people that you have absorbed may remember the same event,
Just
but
differently.
They may have different recollections of the same event. What happens? Do
She-
wires get crossed?
she just
Is
gets
this
to
how we
pick.
defeat her?
This is the human problem of Yidhra.
Yeah, right.
Is which memories are real.
After a long day of being Yidhra, she goes into her. She gets into the bath and she's just like, I don't know what's real
What
anymore.
happened today?
I don't know which one is right. But she does prefer to manifest herself as a beautiful and seductive woman, making the number of those who have seen her proper monstrous eldritch avatar forms very few.
Mm-hmm.
And like all other outer gods, her true eldritch form is beyond the material plane. So it's, what would you call that, Mike?
Indescribable.
Oh,
Unspeakable.
unspeakable.
Yes, exactly.
So, yet her avatars are mighty, and as any other person in the, in the mythos, she usually conceals her true form behind a powerful illusion, which we're going to talk about right now. So, appearing as a comely young woman, only favored members of her cult can see her as she actually is, but her various avatars appear.
Are you
unique
laughing at the
individually.
comingly young woman like I am?
Yeah. Okay. I saw Mike react at the same time, and I was like,
Oh, he said come.
That's not a word.
I want you guys to know that there is no room for maturity here. None whatsoever.
Oh no! Surely people have
We
learned
just-
that by now.
We don't have the capacity. I'm sorry.
No,
This
that's just not
strapping, comingly young woman.
comely.
This
Comely.
Come
real
on her.
Full of
Come on her.
She's young, dumb, and full of cum.
She was with this real jizzy man. It was-
And a very,
His name was
she's a
Wilbur
very
Waitley.
jizzly young woman. All right. So, anyways, we're just gonna move. We're gonna move past
Right
all
along.
that.
Breasted boogly down the stairs.
So, Madame Yi appears as a beautiful human Asian female, dressed in a billowing red, white, and black robe. This avatar has a delicate painted face that looks like that of a porcelain doll and possesses long, razor-sharp fingernails, which she commonly uses to rip the flesh from anyone she so pleases.
Uh-huh.
China is where this avatar is encountered and where it mates with and kills the young men provided to her by her female-led and dominated cults. The mating procedures produces monstrous, deformed offspring. I'm talking
You guys play. Okay, see.
the progeny of Yig.
yeah.
We talking caterpillar
human
face,
face.
motherfucking Dickheads.
You guys, I know you do. Matt, I can't remember. Did you play Magic the Gathering?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
So this is directed at Mike then.
Hi.
Mike, you know the Simic,
That's fine.
No.
the race of people that mash together two different animals and make amalgamations?
You know,
Maybe.
blue-green.
Blue-green.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Like that fucking
I didn't know the name of them, but
vomits
yeah.
cards out of your library for you. That's
Sure.
This is essentially the same shit. Yidhra is like the mastermind of Simic bullshit.
Yeah, she's basically playing that one game.
She made
Spore.
Cat Dog.
Is
she
it
made
Spore?
Yes, Spore.
Okay,
Yes.
I can get down with some Spore.
Yeah.
Now you're talking my
All
language.
right. She's just taking one thing and mushing
Just
it with
saying,
the
fuck
other
it.
thing.
You had me a cat dog.
It's the same thing. Cat Dog and Spore are essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
One fine day with a wolf and a
Absolutely.
bird, baby was born, it was covered in ferns.
This is the original Cat Dog. Is what this is.
This is also going to circle back to the fact that half of the things that she creates, she just going to reabsorb.
Yep.
She just
You can
she's
eat.
like you kind of suck. So
It's
I'm
like if
gonna
you
just
shat-
suck you back in.
And then ate your shat.
Wait, you don't
Or
do
just
that
suck
already,
it
or
back in.
I try
that's
not
where
to.
the shit goes?
I
Okay.
try
yeah,
not to.
you'd suck it back in.
Yeah.
Wanna
We
put
went
it
over
back
this
and
in
forth.
our episode.
Sucking it back
Pooping
in
back
over
and
and
forth
over, so you're
forever.
basically fucking yourself.
You know that feeling when you take a really big shit?
Yeah,
But
have you ever
the
had somebody
opposite.
take a shit on your face?
Where are we?
I don't know. All right, so we're gonna talk about her other avatar, which is Yolanda Prentice, a semen.
Semen.
One
One semen.
Y'all got me fucking.
You're doing this on
Now,
purpose.
okay.
First, it's a comingly young woman, and now you're doing this on purpose.
No.
Before
No, I'm not.
before we go forward, I do want to make mention there are
You want to make?
You're doing this on purpose.
I am at this point. Yeah.
there are dozens of avatars, not thousands like Nyarlathotep, but there
Yeah.
are a lot of them. But two of them are prominent. The rest are like
Two of them have been written about.
yes. The rest have not.
So, Yolanda Prentice is a semi-human reptilian creature that casts a glamour to appear as a beautiful, cultured young woman. Yolanda Prentice ministers to the Yidhra cult located in Milando, Texas. Maybe that's a real place. Who knows?
I won't look it up.
If you're from Texas, let me know. So she has the power to fuse humans and animals into new forms.
Simic.
Yeah. When she employs, they basically become her servitors. So at least one iteration of Yolanda Prentice was destroyed by a human named Wilhelm Kramer while he was also murdering his fucking family. Kramer!
I can see Mike holding it in, so I
oh,
was just
he
gonna
is.
let it out.
Absolutely.
We have to kill Yolanda.
Kramer!
Yeah,
She's
so
here, Jerry.
long story short,
She's
this-
a big lady.
Hey, Doug, before you go forward, I feel like people miss the important
yeah,
part
I'm
of
gonna
that.
say it again.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this man, Wilhelm basically killed Yolanda Prentice at one point at the same time that he was also murdering his own family. He was
All of it. The whole
you
thing.
know, familiciding him, you know. So basically he found out that his family was also malformed descendants of Yidhra, and unfortunately Yidhra being Yidhra, who was immortal, she said, "Oh, you're gonna kill me? Well, not before I sick
Not before I
my
eat you.
clone on you," basically. And she just cloned herself immediately and continued the process of being Yidhra.
Kramer.
She's kind of she's
That's her
kind
clone,
of
Kramer. Her
undefeatable.
clone.
Yeah, from what I've learned, so prior to this story, my favorite deity was Azathoth because I thought that like he was like the pinnacle of power.
Yeah, she seems pretty.
Everything exists in his dream. Bend to his will.
Uh-huh.
And now we get to Yidhra.
Do you think she could absorb Azathoth?
That's what I'm fucking saying.
It's possible. I don't
and then
know.
she would be Azathoth.
Yeah.
I don't know if she gains powers though.
No,
It
she
didn't-
does.
I guess, yeah, because she does
Yidhra-
say it's like
she-
an evolutionary,
it's a-
like...
The only reason she absorbs people is to gain an evolutionary advantage as
Yeah,
well as
that's fair.
prolonging the
That-
fucking
no,
immortal.
yeah,
Basically
you're
Cell.
absolutely right.
Oh,
It
yes.
is
No, yes.
Cell.
Yidhra and Cell are probably the same fucking person, if we're
What is
being
happening?
honest.
So
That is
who's the
amazing.
Super Vegeta in this situation? No. Yeah.
You mean Super Gohan?
Was it Kramer?
It was Kramer, yeah.
It's just fucking Michael Richards. Just
Kramer, you gotta go Super Saiyan 3.
wow. Holy shit, that is a series I would watch front to back.
Anyways, Jason, where does Yidhra fall in the place of pop culture? Where
culture?
can we find her?
Let's go. Okay, so now that we're done being serious, right?
Yeah,
We're done
yeah.
being serious.
No
Let's
more
go into funny.
seriousness. Yeah.
Were we ever doing that?
They didn't know.
Zing.
So Yidhra doesn't have a lot of pop culture around her. She's only mentioned in a few different publications, and one of them is the short story called Where Yidhra Walks by Walter C. DeBille. Now, Walter C. DeBille is going to be somebody that you're going to find in a lot of Cthulhu Mythos writings. He is basically entrenched in it.
Can't stop seeing Seinfeld and
I-
Dragon Ball.
I have a fun quip about him
Oh,
a
okay.
little later, but
Okay.
please continue.
So Walter C. DeBille writes this story called Where Yidhra Walks. And essentially it's a story about somebody who is traveling across Texas on the way to visit their cousin when they become stranded in a small town of Milando as a result of a hurricane. Over the next couple of days, they become aware to the existence of a cult. It's called the Cult to the Earth Mother, which is another cult to the deity Yidhra. And his curiosity kind of leads him to look into this certain phenomena. As he finds out more, he realizes that the town has been inducted into this cult and that membership grants certain gifts along with a price, unfortunately, as everything Lovecraft usually does. When he discovers that he is to be the next inductee, he uses a tragic and violent incident between one of his last remaining human residents and some of the degenerate townsfolk as a cover to make a getaway. So eventually so this whole story, all that to basically say is that this person is like the purveyor of Yidhra information. Because prior to this, we had no information on Yidhra.
He's the scry.
No, because, well, I guess if you're looking at H.P. Lovecraft as a scribe for the mythos, you could say he is, but
Lovecraft is the scribe.
Walter DeBille actually would be more considered the scribe for a different mythos,
Yes.
which I will go over a little later.
We don't have to actually go into
We
that,
won't,
though,
we
right?
won't.
Okay.
I'm going to just nutshell it, but
Please and
it's
thank
going
you.
to open up a door to a whole other blank mythos instead of a Cthulhu mythos. So,
Yeah, more or less. But essentially, so this main character ends up escaping. By the time they've alerted the authorities that the whole incident had been happening, essentially, the government took care of that for them by covering the whole fucking thing up. And it basically left the cult and their master to resume activities as intended. Which is why Ayi'iig and Yidhra and their offspring are such a prevalent fucking force in so many different mythologies, be it Native American, be it fucking not even like modern American. Look at Quetzalcoatl. Look at fucking the snake god. If you were to type in the snake god to Google, you'd probably come up with, I don't know,
at least 3 porn sites.
at least 3 porn sites
Yeah.
and one serious one.
One
A
serious porn site.
Yeah. 3 parody porn.
Now, the reason I bring this whole story up is, honestly, it's the characters. So, Peter Kovacs is the main protagonist of the story, and he's just an average Joe on a road trip. And then you hear somebody from the name of Wilhelm Kramer.
Do this to me again.
Why not?
I'm not gonna do it again.
All right, cool. We can move on.
In this story, this was just a man who married in the community of Milando. And then you get Yolanda Prentice, which is an avatar of Yidhra and the leader of the cult. So as you can surmise, Yidhra can kind of split her person up in which she can lead her own cult. which is something that most deities can't fucking do. They have to find somebody to do that for them. If
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
She can just make sure that her message is being purveyed to the people she's trying to purvey it to.
So she's her own Jim Jones.
Yeah, actually,
She's Jim Jones of the Jim Jones.
Doug is breaking.
Mike's crying.
And that leads us
It's
to
a good
one
episode.
final thing.
One final fuckhead.
Who the fuck is Ayi'iig?
You tell me.
It's Egg, I told you.
Egg. Are we just
Egg.
calling him Egg?
It's Egg.
Ayi'iig.
Ayi'iig. So it's spelled super stupid.
Ayi'iig.
My wife.
Yeah, that is what I basically said. So
The only thing that I have to say about this creature of Ayi'iig is that it is the daughter of the great old one Yig and the outer goddess Yidhra. Did you actually mention that?
I did.
Cool.
We've mentioned it twice now.
Awesome. I meant the
Third time now.
the outer god thing.
We're professionals.
What? Did you mention the outer god thing?
I don't even know.
So
Yeah,
if
we're
if-
here.
So
Might as
if,
well.
if Doug did not mention this, it's something worth mentioning. Yidhra is actually an outer god.
Oh yes, I did.
goddess.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Ayi'iig still. So I was like,
Oh no.
what?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the combination between a great old one and an outer god is like fucking unheard of.
It's like a horse fucking a dog. You know?
Yeah, it just doesn't happen on Tuesday. It has to be Wednesday.
It does. Wednesdays only.
But let's get to Ayi'iig, or however the fuck you pronounce this.
Egg.
Ayi'iig is the daughter of the great old one Yig and the outer goddess Yidhra, appearing as an octopus-like monstrosity.
The only tentacles you'll see today.
This is the only form of tentacles you will see.
You don't know what's
And-
happening when you leave.
They're detachable.
Yeah.
They are
They are detachable as fuck.
So are mine.
Ah.
Whoa. So Ayi'iig is this octopus-like monstrosity with serpentine eyes and detachable tentacles that move independently. She lives in a cavern within a deep canyon somewhere in Texas, and that's every bit of information that we have about Ayi'iig.
Yeah, the only thing I have is that Ayi'iig made her only
Yeah.
appearance in a book, a story called "A Movement in the Grass" by Walter DeBille,
Again,
which is a part of a storyline that actually makes a parallel mythos to the Cthulhu mythos.
yes. And what is that called?
It's called I'm gonna butcher this, but I think it's called the Melandoth cycle. And basically, it's the invention from Walter C. DeBille and a few other writers who basically, instead of relying heavily on H.P. Lovecraft's work, the stories utilize an entirely new pantheon of gods, creatures, and beings that they've made up, basically. So they took a bunch of their the ideas that H.P. Lovecraft had, and they said let's take all their offspring and start a new set of forbidden books, basically.
It's like the Muppet. Oh no! It's like the Muppet Babies,
Yeah,
and then there's the Muppets.
yeah, pretty much. So yeah, they
It's
they
Tiny
do what-
Toons and the Looney Tunes.
Exactly.
They were just like, we want to be different. Let's write our own shit and just start making new deities and new outer gods and new whatever the fucks we want. And they kind of went off with that story. They just took some things from H.P. Lovecraft, but not everything.
Yeah.
But they were like, we'll just kind of be like, oh, well, remember those two people fucked?
They
Like,
did a
we got
soft
their kid.
reboot.
Yeah. Lovecraft 2.69.
Love boot.
Are you proud of that joke, Doug? Or is that you're sticking with that one?
I'm pretty proud of it. But yeah, that's pretty much all we got. That's pretty much all we got on these three.
You know.
I think that might be the end of our informational.
That is
section.
all we have.
Now, Doug and I talked, and there are things that we should have been doing that I wish we'd been doing up until this point. But let's start it here. And I think we can absolutely go back because several of the beings we talked about are worth having this discussion about. But what do we think would happen if Yig had his way? You guys know what Yig's way would be?
I'm gonna assume dominance of the world.
Is that different than Mike's way?
I hope so.
It's also
Does
very
it
different
come
from
with more olive
Subway.
oil.
Less cum than what Mike would have us do.
So we figured as you two being the unknownst and just being filled in with all of the things and the stuff, I guess this is going to be a tamer one.
This
to do.
one is going to be the tamest of all because Yig and Yidhra don't have like a world destroy way.
They're not pinky in the brain.
No, but Yig, I could definitely say with confidence that if he had his way, he would basically convert the entire Earth to snake-human hybrids.
I mean,
He'd be at Burger King.
it just falls back to snake jazz, so I'd be fine with that.
Snake jazz.
What does that look like then? I want you guys to paint us a fucking picture of what the world would look like if Yig had his way.
Human hybrids. I imagine like tubes, like Futurama tubes.
Yeah.
Like
Vacuum
snake people
tubes.
shooting through them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we'd have
instead of
stairs.
sidewalks.
I think we'd have ramps.
Okay. I love that you guys are starting with the important things.
we wouldn't be able to have 2 or 3 pedals on cars because
Yeah,
No
no.
feet.
you wouldn't be able to, like unless you're really talented with your tail.
Here's a topic of discussion. Would you prefer to be half human, half snake, or not?
Well, my only perception right now is being full human. I don't have like a perception on being a halfie.
If half human, half snake were to be a thing that is an option, what would that look like?
I imagine it'd be like on Trogdor. It would be Trogdor,
It's
right?
just a big beefy arm come out of the back of his neck.
I guess they'd technically be like Yanti purebloods.
Yeah,
If
I
you're
guess.
It'd be snake people. It would probably be like
like crab people
Lemuria.
with snakes.
Wait, so which way around are we doing it? Are we doing it snakehead, human body, or human body?
That's
That's
so.
up to you.
I'm saying
So-
the same thing.
So okay, if we're gonna go off of like a mirror image of Yig, it's gonna be like snake head with a long snake neck leading into human shoulders and body, except there's a giant
Right,
snake
okay.
tail coming out of your butthole.
that wouldn't be awful.
Okay.
I'd get a tail out of it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
And
sitting in chairs would be really
Chairs would be different,
well,
right?
yeah, we would have holes in
Yeah.
the chairs at least.
Yeah,
with a
you'd
tail.
have a little butthole.
And-
butthole in
and
your chair.
the snakes can sense heat. Snakes can sense heat with their tongues, so now we all have heat vision, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's-
mean, when you say it that way, it feels like we're just getting extra.
Yeah, I'm not really losing here. I'm gaining like reflexes of a snake.
I'm not here
This-
to tell you.
we have no answer to
Yeah,
this.
it's like there's no.
we just said
Right or
debate,
wrong.
please.
The
I-
only thing that we've been given is
The only
Yig and
issue-
Yidhra turn people into snake human hybrids.
The only issue
Go.
would be because snakes are. Would I be cold blooded or warm blooded? Then that makes a big difference.
That's literally what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Florida
let's say-
becomes an issue.
Yeah.
let's say-
it gets overcrowded, and then we have a real estate issue in Florida.
Exactly.
Snake people will have an overpopulace in Florida, and the real estate is just through the roof. Meanwhile, the Midwest, though very cheap, difficult to live in.
Is
Very
this
difficult
if you
to
were
live
if
No
you
man
were
alive.
cold blooded?
If we were cold blooded, life would be pretty difficult. We'd all have to go to like the south.
Instead of instead of fucking like lofts, people would have like mandatory sun rock rooms.
Yeah,
Where you could go just have a hot rock in a room.
it sounds not. We already do that.
It's like a hot bath. You gotta go take a hot rock
I
real
gotta just go
quick.
lay on my hot rock for a bit.
Oh,
Otherwise I'll
molting.
die.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna
molting
say you
would
gotta
be a-
shed.
Babe, I'm
Yeah.
going down to the Hot Rock Cafe.
molting would be an issue because do you
Molting
stop
would
molting
suck.
after you hit the shoulders, or does your entire like human part molt as well?
You'd be like, Deborah, my shoulder isn't coming off. Can you
Can you help peel it off for me?
Oh.
Can you get me?
Ugh. I don't know if I like any of this.
Can I still
reality.
speak English, or am I speaking parcel tongue like I'm G-dang Harry
No,
Potter?
parcel tongue's not a thing. I think it's you would be speaking whatever you think would make sense.
I am looking forward to swallowing my meals whole.
Right?
That'd be pretty gnarly.
No more chewing.
I am looking forward to unhinging my jaw. That
Can you
sounds
think of the
wonderful.
That's a
gluck you can
peasant's
get
job.
from some female snakes?
Chewing.
What?
Huh?
The gluck you can
Oh.
receive from a female snake. Unhinged jaw
I would-
means
It's not even deep throat. That's deep body.
I would only be able to take advantage of that if my penis was way bigger than it is. So
Yeah, I don't know. And do we lay eggs still?
still,
Snakes lay eggs.
Oh,
yeah.
you said we like. Never mind.
Sorry. Like, would we
I
lay
don't know.
eggs
Maybe,
like a
maybe
snake?
it's like a soft boiled egg that comes out because it's like half people, half snake. So it's just
So,
like
yeah,
a
how
weird
would this
yolky
life cycle happen? So okay, day one, you get born as an egg, right? Because reptile. What happens after that?
I'll tell you. You go to dilutipod.com.
That sounds about
And
right
This
where the
does,
transition.
this does sound correct.
On
okay.
the computer that's inside your head.
Right.
You go to
Your
dilutipod.
home laptop.
dilutipod.com where you can find the links to everything. You could also go to our Linktree at linktree.com/dilutipod, which also has our links to everything. We have a merch shop on our website as well. You can go to patreon.com/dilutipod. You could chuck in something or you could chuck in nothing. That's kind of just how it fucking works. You could go to buymeacoffee.com/dilutipod. But let's be real, it's going to be alcohol if you're buying us. Go to our YouTube, our Facebook, our Instagram, our
TikTok.
Twitter, TikTok.
Just fucking search
Um,
on Google and you'll find everything that you need.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
Just do it.
and you know, go to Unplanned Podnancy. Go check them out, unplannedpodnancy.com, and go to their Spotify. You can also
Yeah.
That's that guy.
rate. That's Matt's with Chris. They have fun and it's really entertaining. You can also go to if you're on like Spotify or Apple podcasts, review us on the show. We are almost to 450 now, which is pretty dope. Get us up to that 500 point. Those Victorian pictures are coming. I promise. I just got to find the
Yeah,
proper.
man.
I just want everyone to know
gear.
that this is all on Mike, and if he doesn't
100%.
deliver, be mad at him.
Exactly. Yes. But
He didn't tell us anything.
let's get us to
about this.
500. Let's fucking go. And then
Go to the YouTube because there's a video version of this now.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes. We are recording
Yes,
a video
This
of all
will be
this
the
now.
first
so-
episode that has a video version.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
go to our YouTube. It's youtube.com/@dilutipod.
Dilutipod.
Also,
Or you
our
can just type
patrons
in-
are getting
Again.
video versions of the bonuses as well now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and the last thing I have is our Google phone number. You can send us a text on our Google phone number or leave us a voicemail. If you leave us a voicemail on there, we'll play it at the end of the show. That phone number is 630-909-9366. One more time, that is 630-909-9366. I would like to bring an olive branch out to all of you, but instead of olives on that branch, little bicuspids, and you just pick them off. And you go,
I like that.
Mike planted this tree, this tooth tree. I can tell.
This is a mic
And
tree.
then
tooth
put it
willow.
put it into your mouth, and now a little part of me is with you. Jason, do you have anything to say to the people, the beautiful people, Badoo?
Yeah. Fucking, as always, stay paranoid. Keep your goddamn wits about you.
630-909-9366.
Did you stick in your ass?
Nailed it.
Oh, that was supposed to be redacted. Whatever. Whoops.
Definitely an accident.
That was a spoon-ass accident. I don't know. Stay paranoid. Don't kill snakes, for the love of God, especially not in Southern America.
Snakes
They
did nothing
will find
wrong.
their revenge.
They will find their revenge. They will find your revenge. I don't know what else to tell you. Just don't fucking do it. Doug?
Well, I haven't been here in 2 weeks, so I'm just going to give you a flat out, plain old slap your peen against your bean.
I
and
really thought you were going to
make
be like,
it count.
I'm going to give you a flat out, fuck you.
Well, I will also say, fuck Corbin, Kentucky.
Yes.
It is this year our Lord and Savior Satan created the Tootsie Roll.
There we have it. Wait, does
that's
that
all
mean
you
I
need
can't
to know.
speculate anymore?
Gargamel.
No, we can speculate.
Cool.
Bye.
Matt.
Gargamel.
Matt, do you have anything to say to the people, the
Bye.
beautiful people?
No.
Mike's like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck Matt.
Be good to yourselves. Be good to other people. You know the drill. You're important.
Matt, you're so nice.
He offsets the rest of us.
Yeah. Well, people are outnumbered 3 to however
3
many.
to 4.
We have the voices. We should do something useful with them.
I agree.
Because Lord knows this isn't.
Well, goodbye, everybody. We love you.
We love you
lots and
guys.
lots.
We
Yeah.
love you.
Don't kill snakes, damn it!
Also, fuck you.
Don't look under the internet.